I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Hey, guess what? You know that other countries get their pharmaceuticals way cheaper than the United States.
Yes, I've been to Mexico.
And Canada and Europe, right? ASPE contracted with Rand Healthcare to carry out 3 studies analyzing data on U.S. prescription drug prices and availability in comparison to drug prices and availability in other organization for economic cooperation and development countries. In 2022, the United States prices across all drugs, brand names and generics, were nearly 3 times as high as the prices in comparison countries. So they say 2.78 times. That doesn't that equate? I'm not a math surgeon, but isn't that almost 300% more? When they say 2.78 times, that's 200% 0.78 times. Am I right?
Are they averaging those together? Because I can tell you this. I'll give you an example of a drug. I got prescribed Provigil, the Obama pills. I used to have 2 writing jobs at one point, and I was getting no sleep. My doctor gave me Provigil, which is it's a drug for narcolepsy that you can take, and a lot of doctors take it in med school, and it inhibits what makes you tired. It's not like an amphetamine, okay? So I had good insurance paying for it, so it was very cheap. It was like $10, but you don't see it in the street ever because it's like $900 out of pocket to buy this Obama pills. If you go to Mexico, you get them for $15 a pack of like a lot of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, And it's all weird Byzantine insurance reasons and whatever, yeah.
So U.S. prices for brand name drugs were at least 3.2 times higher. So that's over 300% as high as prices in the comparison countries, even after adjustments for estimated U.S. rebates. Most new drugs were available first in the United States before being launched in other countries. So we launch them here in the United States, send them to other countries. They're then cheaper by like 300% in the other countries.
And by the way, calling it a launch, I like that. Like it's a PlayStation. No, you mean they experiment on us first?
So drugs are always cheaper for countries that don't get uppity, if you know what I mean. But guess what Trump did? So you know how they made it illegal for you to go to Canada and get your drugs because it was cheaper? That's what senior citizens used to do. They would go to Canada.
Was I breaking the law the times I've done that?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, now Trump just signed an order to help states import low-cost medicines from other countries.
Whoa.
Yeah. By the way, that's if you look, that's Charlie Sheen's safe room.
That's just one wall of it. There's other stuff in there. Oh, wait. So he signed an order. So you're telling me that this issue, somebody could have signed an order this whole goddamn time?
Yep. Yes.
Well, what do you know?
President Donald Trump signed an executive order on April 15th, that's tax day, that directs a wide range of actions to lower the cost of prescription medications, including through the importation of prescription drugs from Canada by the states. States have been authorized since 2020 to import certain drugs from Canada, where they are now available at a lower price under Section 804 of the Food, Drug, and Cosmetics Act. However, approval from the Food and Drug Administration, that's the FDA, is required. And that process is complex.
Meaning corrupt.
Yes. Florida is the only state now authorized to import drugs from Canada. And that approval process took more than 3 years. So they always talk, so people in California always like to disparage Florida like it's some kind of backward, crazy.
Right.
And they're, of course, they got the lockdowns right. They got monoclonals right. And look, they're the only state that is able to import drugs cheaper for their people.
They probably got the most old people.
That's right. That's right.
California is also a state that hates the elderly. I mean, just like at every level, everybody's trying to never be old, you know?
Yep.
And Florida's got a lot of elderly, and it's harder to trick them, you know?
Yeah. Trump's order instructs the FDA to improve the process and encourage states to apply for authorization to import medications.
I mean, if you're not their grandkid.
An analysis by health research group KFF found that per capita spending on prescription drugs was 42% higher in the United States than in Canada. Per capita. Three items in the executive order aim at lowering the cost of drugs already available in the United States. The first action is to revisit the Medicare drug negotiation program, which was authorized. So do you know that by law, Medicare, the government organization Medicare, was by law not allowed to negotiate drug prices with Big Pharma? That's how corrupt your government is.
No, I'm sure there's a good reason why you're not allowed to negotiate the price.
They weren't by
sure,
law.
No, it can't be.
So then, in the Inflation Reduction Act, they made it okay to negotiate the price of just 10 drugs for Medicare. The program allows Medicare to negotiate with drug companies to reduce the cost of brand name drugs. But how many of them? The initial round of lower prices involved 10, just 10 prescription drugs.
I remember this.
That's what they were only allowed. And that's when Joe Biden goes, we beat Big Pharma.
Yeah.
You've been
and
sucking Big
years.
Pharma off
right away.
for your whole career.
Yeah.
And now you're allowing Medicare to negotiate the price of 10 drugs, and you call that a win instead of a win for Big Pharma and corruption?
Well, they might have given him a large payment for his 37 mortgages. Maybe that's what it is. Like the Biden family beat them.
And a second round of 15 drugs will be available for Medicare beneficiaries at a reduced price. But we have to wait till 2027.
Yeah.
So then we'll have a total of 25 drugs.
Because you know how they come to that idea? They're planning for a bunch of old people to die out from not affording drugs. And someone is calculating that. And that's why they're like, okay, in 2027, you can have these 15 drugs. Because they know exactly the numbers on that of who has what and what they need. That's why they know how to overcharge. You would think it's like a bonanza of grabbing money, but these assholes have venture capital waiting for their investment back. So they've calculated all the excess ahead of time by 7 years. You understand how evil it is?
Yeah, I understand how evil. You don't even have to know what you just said to know how evil this is. A White House official told reporters that the Trump administration is going to improve the program and make it even more transparent. So they're going to improve this program where Medicare gets to negotiate the prices of drugs that they give to old people.
It wouldn't take much to improve it, though, would it?
That just shows you how completely corrupt your government is. A second price-lowering action, this is the second thing Trump's doing, aims to make Medicare payment for prescription drugs commensurate with the supplier's cost. No kidding.
You have to enforce capitalism. You have to enforce the capitalism. That's unbelievable.
Currently, Kurt, Medicare pays as much as 35% over the actual cost of the medications. A third provision for lowering prices directs that steps be taken to ensure that Medicare pays a comparable price for prescription drugs regardless of where they are dispensed.
The mafia was less corrupting than this. Do you know we have sell-by dates on milk because of Al Capone, because his niece got sick?
No kidding.
And he's the guy that forced that. That forced having the dates on milk. The mafia did that.
How about we lower the price of eggs now? Especially since they are also currently loaded with pharmaceuticals. How about that?
That's how I get most of my flu shots from my eggs.
Yeah. From my chicken. And currently, Medicare may pay up to 60% more for a drug dispensed at an outpatient clinic than for the same medication dispensed at a doctor's office. What does that do? Well, it gives an incentive for providers to drive traffic to higher paying locations.
Oh, like how having private prisons creates an incentive for gangster rap. Yeah.
And so the fourth action that Trump's doing is he directing Dr. Oz, the administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, to further reduce the price of insulin. Currently, the negotiated price is $35 for insulin. A White House official told reporters that based on the new order, low-income and uninsured patients may be able to receive insulin for as little as 3 cents per vial, plus an administrative fee. Injectable epinephrine may be available for as little as $15 per auto-injector. This order will achieve that by ensuring that all discounts on insulin and epinephrine that the government offers to healthcare providers are passed on to consumers.
This sounds like socialism.
Sounds like socialism. Other provisions of Trump's order aim to lower costs by improving the drug development and approval process. First, the order directs the FDA to streamline the approval process for generic and biosimilar medications. That could reduce the price of medication for some patients by as much as 80%. You believe that it took Trump to do this? It took Trump to do this. Currently, there is a backlog of generic and biosimilar medications awaiting approval. No kidding.
Well, why would you need to go through a whole new process for the generic version that is exactly similar?
Because here's how Kurt how explains it. Because Big Pharma bribes the FDA, and the people who work at the FDA get bribed and then go immediately to work for the pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
So they're incentivized to write these rules that protect Big Pharma's profit. That's why. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes corruption sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I understand how people, the idea, hey, so Medicare is not allowed to negotiate. Like, that sounds fair. Like somebody accepted that.
Second, Trump's order directs Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. to work with Congress to address what the administration sees as an imbalance in the emphasis placed on the development of some highly expensive drugs. Small molecule medications are produced from chemicals, are less costly, and can treat a wide variety of ailments. Ibuprofen is an example of a small molecule medication. I mean, considering that they're just spraying these drugs on us like bugs now anyway from the sky, it makes taking a pill seem almost like archaic, doesn't it?
I get my drugs through mosquito bites now, Jimmy. Yeah. I live in the future.
Large molecule medications are derived from living organisms, or are most costly to produce and are delivered by infusion. Gene-based therapies, immunotherapies, and hormonal regulators are examples of large molecule medications. The current system encourages companies to invest in developing more expensive large molecule treatments over less costly alternatives. That's the current system. Isn't that something? One element of Trump's order cracks down on the practices of some brokers in the prescription drug supply chain. The order directs the Department of Labor to set rules concerning the disclosure of broker fees for prescription drugs. In some cases, employers hire a broker to negotiate prescription drug fees on behalf of their employees, but the broker may act against the employer's best interest by accepting fees from the pharmacy benefit manager that it recommends. It's 100% corruption.
What a pile of shit we live in.
100% corruption. Provisions supporting this rulemaking are included in the Consolidated Appropriations Act, but have not been fully enforced. So Trump. So again, I had to go to Zero Hedge to find this story because I guess MSNBC, CNN, and Fox don't want to give, or the New York Times don't want to give Trump credit for actually doing something that seems criminal if you don't do it.
Right. Well, they're all sponsored by Pharma. The same reason that Sanjay Gupta had to be a blithering idiot on Rogan's podcast.
That's right.
And then say he thought he was going to get beat up.
Yeah.
That was his excuse because Don Lemon was about to hit him with a phone book, to not leave bruises. Yep. And he goes, no, I thought Rogan was going to attack me.
So now you know the rest of the story. Your government's completely corrupt, and Trump is the one getting rid of some of the corruption.
It's not going to be that much better.
Kind of shocking, isn't it? Kind of shocking. Well, I don't know what. I'm not. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
I can't believe how bad it was.
It's not gonna get worse. It's gonna get better. And with
Yeah,
guys like
that's
Dr.
true.
Jay Bhattacharya and people like RFK Jr. and Dr. Marty Makary in charge, I've got a lot of confidence in those guys.
Hey, now that Israel's done with their genocide, now
Yeah.
maybe we can focus on this stuff.
Maybe.
So
We'll
hey,
see.
the glasses has full.
All right, over to Steph.
All right. Somebody asked, why didn't Trump do it his first term? And I think it's
because he had his head
was
up his ass.
surrounded by a bunch of, just bad advisors. And
By the way, the good things he did the first term are just like this. His H-1B visa thing he did is, I think, like genius. They're claiming that we need those H-1B visas to stay competitive with China, the people flying cars. And Trump said, well, then you have to pay them more than Americans because they're so valuable. And the company said, well, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to stick with
And
Americans.
a Democrat judge struck it down. So I didn't know he did that until this H-1B thing came up again.
Oh, I didn't know this. Send me an article
I would have
on
defended that had I known at the time.
All right, here we go. Rachel Rodriguez is trying Fauci criminally. She was on Z Media and Alex Jones. She'd be an excellent guest. Thank you for that one, Hempcar. Jimmy, the Irish stallion, Palestine for Palestine. Thank you. Of course, if you were going to release an engineered bat coronavirus on purpose, the smartest place to do it would be right outside a ramshackle bat coronavirus engineering lab, preferred in a country you hate. Bunny Ripley. Thank you, Bunny Ripley.
Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Namaste. It's 3:00.
It's 3:17. Michael, I believe you gave me. I can't. Cheapers. I haven't been able to give you a proper thank you because I didn't see a return address on this. We love it. Thank you so much. Okay.
Never been.
Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Had Peter Hotez on as the expert to smear RFK
she's garbage.
regarding
Amy Goodman's
RFK
garbage.
measles stance. Peter Hotez
That's
as
Cenk-
the expert.
That's Cenk Uyghur's hero, Amy Goodman,
Thank
who
you,
is
Sharon.
garbage.
This is a distraction, Jimmy. He's fast-tracking another mRNA vaccine for bird flu, and that's from Yoshi. Yoshi, thank you for that. We were reading about that as well. Thank you. All right. And Hemcar, we also have Rachel Rodriguez is trying Fauci criminally.
Thing to do with her?
She was on Z Media.
Yeah. What?
Luna Lager, you've never been. Bunny Ripley.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
Right,
sure.
Let me switch something then.
Bunny Ripley, pretty sure Charles Murray is not Douglas Murray's dad. Charles M. has an American accent and no mention of him on Douglas M's Wikipedia entry. Bunny, thank you for following up with that. People who get sick from flus and colds are those who are taking vitamin D3, who are vitamin D3 deficient. That's why flus are seasonal. The body creates D3 from sunlight entering it. And people tend to stay inside in the winter, Polly.
A lot of truth to what whoever's saying that is saying.
That's Polly. I disagree with Jimmy's mixed bag verdict. The Trump administration is appallingly evil with a couple little good things thrown in. I wouldn't be surprised to learn Trump has nothing to do with this. Rubber toe.
Okay,
I get it. You're supposed to have healthy skepticism. That's what we're supposed to have. We're supposed to go, okay, it's not perfect, but isn't it progress? I mean, it certainly is. I got to tell you right now, if you have an aging parent and you're trying to take care of them and they need any kind of prescription, it's a maze. And so you want to make it more accessible and cheaper, financially accessible. Weird with chicks or with weird chicks? That's from Grasshopper. Dig it. Compensation for everybody. I freaking love that idea. And it should come straight out of Big Pharma's pockets and Fauci, because he's gotten, what does he have, a patent on most of the stuff that he's supposedly researched? Douglas Murray's father was a civil servant and his mother a school teacher. I know, right then I sound like a drunk Pelosi. Douglas Murray's father. Okay. Loony by nature.
You've never been?
That was all over the chat. Maki, people hate the truth because it shatters their illusions. Nietzsche. Am I mistaken, or isn't both the Biden and Harris marriages are the results of them committing adultery? Rubber toe. Thank you for that, rubber toe. Luna Legger. Thank you, Luna Legger. All right. I got through all of those, Jimmy, just so you know.
Okay.
All right, back to Jim.